Welcome, guys. Darren here with a box review of 1990 Score Football Series 1. This is, talk about trip down memory lane. This was one of the first four sets that I collected. It was basically number 4 of the first four sets. And that was a little bit tricky as I was going through packs because I had a tendency to just kind of fall into the pattern of going through these cards that I've known for almost my entire life. I mean, it really does kind of have that feeling. These cards are very much embedded in my DNA. So yeah, that was interesting. But I was really curious to see what the experience would be like. So first off, with these packs, the packs themselves come with 4 different patterns. So here's one with Wade Wilson of the Vikings passing against the Chicago Bears. We've got one here with, I don't think that's Jim Everett. I think Everett is number 11. Well, he's right here. Let's see. What jersey number is he? Yeah, he's number 11. So they probably changed the number, but that would technically be Everett passing against, ironically, the Vikings. We have, also against the Vikings, we have a player who looks kind of like Mike Sherrard, who I don't think had been drafted yet, so I'm not sure who the receiver would be. Appears to be jersey number 88, but it's a Giants wide receiver. And then the last one they did was pretty clearly Stephon Page against the Denver Broncos, and it's a cool thing that they do with these packs that all have one of 4 different images. So as you go through, all the packs are different, and it's a cool thing that they continue to do, and it's different for every set. So there are 4 different wrappers, one with Barry Sanders for Series 2. They also, every single pack has one of their lenticular cards, so they're Sportflix cards basically. These are miniature, and this is something the company had done from when they started with Sportflix. Sportflix always had these, and then Score had these through, I think they made some in 1991. I don't think they did in football. Seems like they did in baseball. Not sure, but at least in football in 89 and 90 they did it. And so these are Super Bowl trivias. So for instance, right here with this card, which is card number 1, it says 2 teams have won 4 Super Bowls, name them. And at this time it was the Niners and it was the Steelers. And so down here, of course, is the answer. And that's the fun thing about these trivia cards, is that they really are trivia. And if you're not familiar with like the first half of the history of the Super Bowl, which at this point I think they were Super Bowl 24, it's fun to go through and learn a lot of facts. And that is a cool thing. The set itself is like 28 to 30, something like that. It's not too long. I got cards 26, but I didn't get a whole set because after card 12 I don't have anything till 18. So 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, those 5 cards I'm missing, and then I've got a bunch of doubles. But with this, I mean, these were just fun to get in packs, and it's almost more of a burden to try to keep from losing them. They don't have any special patterns. They all have the exact same effect on them. So in 89 it was team helmets, so they were all different, but in this case this is the standard where they all look the same. For the set, I got pretty close on the set. I was missing 26 cards, so not too bad, except for the fact that the doubles are almost the same height. Well, actually these are doubles as well, so they're almost exactly the same height, one set to the other. So it would have been nice for it to close out, but I'm not worried about that right now. For me, I was in a very different groove because as I was going through, I like how the packs have 2 or 3 blue cards, and then 2 or 3 purple cards, and then 2 or 3 red cards, and then they cycle back through blue and then red and then purple. And so you get a bit of a mix as you're going through, because they do have, at least the red cards have a different theme. But the cards themselves, they're not the greatest card design, but they are very, very good. This would have been the best card by a long shot in 1990, if not for Pro Set at the same time. And that's kind of the challenge with these cards, is it can be difficult. Like to me, this is the greatest 1989 card design ever in history, because my mind for 1990 is with Pro Set. even though Pro Set was ahead of its time, but really this was ahead of its time too. It's an amazing card. It's really gorgeous. The colors are very rich. The images tend to be really good, not quite at the level of Pro Set, but right up there. And the card back has everything that you need with a big image, so it works quite well. To me, it looks almost slightly clunky, but again, that's why I view this as a slightly older design than Pro Set, and then it holds up. But I do enjoy these cards. The biggest hindrance I have for the cards is the fact that they're scattered. As you can see, they're all over the place, and I've never been a big fan of that, but that was a pretty common thing. The set is 110 cards in each color, so you go through 110 here with Thurman Thomas, and then 111 to 220 here, and then 220 is over here, and then you get to the red cards, and the red cards start off with more veterans, and then they get into rookies, but these are not the draft picks that they had done the previous year. Here, these are actual college uniform shots, more like what Pro Set was doing in '89, which is it can be kind of jarring to experience, just because it's not really a clean way that the cards come across. Then they have their Hot Guns, gorgeous cards. These cards all have these interesting backdrops that they put, including War and Moon. And then they have their Ground Force, and again, these look fantastic. I mean, they really are spectacular cards. The border's slightly clunky, but these cards were pretty much head to head with Pro Set. I mean, they are just incredible card designs. The back is kind of bland, but the card front is really strong, and so that was kind of the big strength that these cards had. So that it was nice to go through, primarily because the cards do have a good look, but they're not engaging. They don't really jump off the page and grab your attention, which is that kind of slowed it down for me. So I had to pay attention to the cards more afterwards, and once I did, I loved it. As far as I got everybody I needed to get in Series 1 in the main set. The doubles that I got were pretty good. So I got a Singletary, I got an extra Bow, I got 2 Art Monks, 2 Barry Sanders, an Aikman, an Elway, an LT, a Deion Sanders, 2 Warren Moons, 2 Thurman Thomases, an extra Steve Young, extra Rice, 2 Marcus Allens, Sterling Sharp, Woodson. I got 2 Junior Seau rookies. In addition, I got a Rodney Hampton and a Barry Foster. And then I got, of the Hot Guns, I got 1 Montana, 1 Moon, 1 Kelly, and 1 Marino. And then I got Thurman and Bow for Ground Force. So these were the doubles. So that was pretty good. I didn't get an extra Montana. I did not get an extra Marino. But otherwise, I did well. I did get an extra John Elway. So overall, it came out well, and the cards look great. The cards look so much better when they're clean and new. The cards I collected in 1990 and 91, which means they're over 30 years old, and let's just say they've been enjoyed. So these clean, nice lines, they add a freshness that I really like. Now, how interesting was it going through the box and through the packs? Not very, because there are a lot of the cards don't have the dynamism to really pop out of the packs like 94, 95 you would be seeing. And it's kind of weird when you run into one of these. And so to me, this is a set where when you go through the packs, you're just putting the set together. And then once the set's together, you break the set out and you start looking at these cards individually. And when you do that, and you're able to just spend time with each individual card and enjoy the set for truly what it is, then the set becomes great. Then it becomes a really good experience. But I also wanted to note, this is one of the few sets where they have the Eagles cards with the stripe across the helmet. Now, this is just before Jerome Brown passed away, and So it can be a bit confusing. This was a tribute to a quarterback coach they had who passed away in 1989. So for I think it was the last 4 games of the season, they put the stripe over the helmet. And there are only 3 or 4 cards where you can see the stripe on it. So that's a cool thing in the set, where in Series 1 they have Anthony Toney here, and I think they have 2 in Series 2. I can't remember how many, but there are a few. So that's a really special card. It's a really special little nugget in this set that's fun to look at. There are a couple of error cards. I obviously got the corrected ones. Usually when you're opening a box, you're opening something from late in the print run. But as far as the rookies go, in Series 1, Junior Seau, Hampton, and Foster, these are the 3 rookies. And there's really not much in Series 2. They did not do an Emmitt Smith in this year, in 1990, which is weird. They saved it for their score supplemental set, which was sold as a complete set, which actually was kind of common. I think Pro Set was the only place where Pro Set and Action Packed were the only places you could get Emmitt Smith in packs. So those were the big rookies. And Series 2, which was loaded with rookies, really didn't bring too much to the table. Even Shannon Sharpe didn't get one. But yeah, that's the nature of this set. It is a fun memory to have, but it didn't have the dynamism that I liked. However, every time that you get one of the Hot Guns or one of the Ground Forces, every time that one of these comes up is really, it's so much fun, so cool to see them, because they are just exquisite cards. They really are gorgeous. And Bo here, this was one of the big chase cards of 1990. This was a really popular one because of how distinctive it was. And Bo didn't have that many cards in football because football didn't have that many cards. It wasn't quite at the level of baseball. So this had that kind of rarity too. But yeah, that's basically what it was like. It is weird that I'm so far short of a set. The collation is kind of strange, because I'm used to, like with Action Packed, there are no doubles in an Action Packed box. You buy 2 boxes, you get a set. That's just the way that worked. That wasn't the case here. But yeah, that's what it was like opening these packs. So thank you very much for watching.